the most military support out of all the candidates, a myth. And after the first caller called in, I called in myself and named 4 sources that are credible sources for that.
But even Bloomberg admitted that and said it was a horrible thing. He has more support from government workers than any other candidate.
Well, we flattened this guy. He was a guest host neocon guy on there, and we absolutely pummeled him. It's on Funkmaster 5 if you want to.
That's what I can't believe about these shows. They claim all day they're trying to keep us safe from the Muslim dreaded threat and all this stuff. But meanwhile, you got a better chance dying from champagne corks than some crazy, jihadi blowing you up. And then I talk to these neocons when they lecture me. Some of them call me, and I tell them, hey, the government's funding Al-Qaeda in Libya. And they go, so what? I mean, it's just none of it holds water. To our number 4 today of special 4-hour transmission, because it is the final radio show of 2011. Bob Chapman with us for a few more minutes. Funkmaster 5 just called in, a great activist who gets a lot done calling into kind of fake alternative media neocon shows, who poses the alternative to the mind control media, the zombie control media that's losing so much power. But I was joking around with the guys, but it's not funny. When I was a teenager, I had pinups of Heather Locklear in swimsuits hanging up in my room. But I guess in the news system, now that the Pentagon with the NDAA, I never even mentioned this because it was so crazy, but it's in the news, says they can have bestiality and the troops can have whatever farm animal or turtle or whatever they wish if they have a private home off base. I guess now the pinups on base will be like of cows, giraffes, turkeys, slugs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is the total dehumanization. This is about dehumanizing us. Bob, why do you think the ruling class is so screwed up?
I think when they try everything, they go to whatever limits they can go as a human being, whether it's high or low. In this case, it's low. And it's just astounding. And it happens in other areas, not just in this one, where people want to become deeply involved in things that they never really would for the experience thereof.
Well, let's expand on that. So in World War II, the troops shouldn't have had, pinup girls of, beautiful women that's obviously attractive. They should have like a possum or something on the side.
Probably. In fact, this weekend, what I'm going to do is reread Animal Farm.
Oh, my gosh, Bob, oh, my gosh, this is unbelievable. I'll
tell you one thing. Every program I'm on, I'm going to mention this. So there's going to be a lot of people who know about it.
It's insane. I mean, I pulled up the main articles, and again, no longer will it be Marilyn Monroe as looking attractive. They're going to teach us not to be extreme. Marilyn Monroe bad, pig with lipstick on, that's the new chic. And see, I'm not trendy, folks. Just give me Marilyn Monroe all day. Ivan in New York, you're on the air. Go ahead. Welcome.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Pleasure. I'm from the Army branch up here in New York Armory. We were stationed in Huntington Station, and they were giving us a normal drill. We go in the 10 drill every month, and the drill was labeled urban warfare. Now, when we were clearing the buildings, they had this dummy that looked like, resembled a U.S. citizen, a normal urban citizen, which I found kind of weird. I asked, who and what are we training to kill, And I questioned my sergeant, and I was actually kicked out of drill for questioning him.
So are you in regular Army or National Guard?
No, regular Army.
Okay, so you're in big Army, and you've done a drill. I'm surprised the dummy didn't have a John Deere hat on and or a hayseed outfit, because that's who they practice against. And so you guys are now doing urban warfare drills.
Yeah, I mean, and not on streets, which I found kind of, weird in general. And being the fact that most of us in Armory are disagreeing with our sergeant, and we're not going to drills anymore from the infantry division, 11 Bravo is my MOS, I decided to cancel all drills. I'm not attending at all anymore. It's ridiculous that they're training us to attack the American civilians.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bob's got to go, and Gary Franchi's coming up, but I'd like to give you the floor when we come back for a couple minutes to tell the whole story, Ivan, so stay there. Bob, taking us out here, hopefully I'll see you back here next week, Lord willing, as we say every week, nothing's for sure. But briefly, what's your comment on what he just said?
It's to be expected. It will continue, and probably in a greater way, now that they got the legislation where the president can have anybody picked up. And you're going to see more and more of it. And all I can say to our brothers in the military, and I'm a veteran, is to listen to what they have to say and don't use what they're doing, because it'll cost you your life.
All right, Bob, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, Ivan, I'm going to come back to you. I want you to start over, tell the whole story, then we'll go to Gary Franchi, and then more calls. Wow, just think of all the callers I never get to with all the stories they've got to tell. And look, now this isn't even speculation. It's admitted they're training the military for war with the American people. All right, the founder and head of Revolution PAC, he also heads up Restore the Republic, Gary Franchi's going to be with us in a couple minutes. But, Ivan, we don't screen calls. But when you got something like this, please volunteer it to us so we can get to you earlier. Ivan is in New York. He's in the Army. And he's saying just recently they tried to have him do drills of basically taking on the American people, which is admitted. I've been to these drills. It's in the news. They admit they're, quote, training to pull triggers, the American people. Stars and Stripes magazine, that's in the Brigade Homeland starts its tour article. You can just type that in. You'll be able to pull it up. But to have him question it and be kicked out of drill, and now he's saying a bunch of his unit are saying no, and he's giving out names, I guess. Ivan, go ahead and give us in a few minutes here. We appreciate you standing up for the Constitution. Give us the full synopsis, recap it, where this was, when this happened, and how many people are refusing to go along with this.
Well, our unit consists of about, I would say, 150 people. We were informed to go in and continue with the training, and I refused. I told my guys, this is against the Constitution. Why are we even trained to take firearms from civilians in general? And this is what I'm upset at, and I regret joining the military for this, is that if we have a voice, we are told to shut up and follow commands. Now, most of my unit, is questioning everything, and we decide not to attend drills in general, We think that people should have their rights, the constitutional rights, and military can go to hell for, I don't know. I'm not going to listen to no command, no high command, and if they ever implement martial law and try to tell me to go out there and shoot civilians, I have one thing coming for them, It's ridiculous, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed to be an American citizen at the moment.
Wow. What else happened?
Well, afterwards, I was escorted by MP military police, and I was told to get out of the post. And I was like, all right, I'll leave. And I took my bag and I left. And I told my drill sergeant, and I'm not going to attend drill anymore. Also, one of my friends came back from Fallujah in Baghdad, and he's sick. He's sick. He's losing his hair. A lot of unknown things. And this guy is a health freak. So I'm scared of my government right now at the moment,
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that this is happening. Can you send us an email with any of your other associates or people we can talk to maybe get some press on this? Because where is this going now? When were you kicked off the base? Well,
I was kicked off. We went to Huntington Station. And they have routine drills every month, Huntington, Fort Dix. Basically, the Eastern region has monthly drills. And we're now being trained to attack civilians. And most of us are not complying with their orders. So somebody who doesn't comply with their orders, a soldier that does not comply with the orders, will be kicked off the base.
But you're kicked off the base. You're not court-martialed? You don't get in trouble?
No, you're kicked off the base. In general, just kicked off the base.
I've seen a lot of that in the news because they don't want to get reports of it going. So they basically make you go AWOL?
Yeah, basically you can say that. I was also talking to most of the guys in the unit, and we do hear you, and we do appreciate what you're doing at the moment, and we thank you for the truth.
Well, thank you, sir. Can you send us any information or your contact? Just send it to tips, the show tips at Infowars.com. And I would like to talk to you and other members of your unit and perhaps get a report out on this because, are they specifically training you? How do you know this is for domestic operations?
Well, the dummies, we were breaching a building, and we're told to clear the building, and it's a routine training drill. And the dummies were dressed like regular civilians with regular jeans, clothes. You know, one of them had a bandana, American bandana on the head. I was like, what the hell's going on here? I turned around, I looked at the guys, and I said, are you serious? Are we going to go through with this crap, or are we going to just say no more?
All right, incredible information. God bless you, my friend. I appreciate Ivan calling into the show, and stay in contact with us. Send us an email with more information. Thank you. That is really frightening information. But I can pull up right now, New York Times. Explorer scouts trained to take on terrorists and more, from 3 years ago. And it's got a whole bunch of photos in it. And the first line says they're training to take on disgruntled vets and kill them. And it shows them practicing to kill good old boys, basically. And then I've got the training manuals where it says the #1 enemy of America is veterans. We're the folks that broke that. Everybody knows about it. You can just type in Homeland Security documents, says veterans #1 threat. It's not Al-Qaeda. I saw a report where Delta Airlines, and there were some guys in their Muslim garb. #1, they were real Muslim terrorists. They're going to be dressed in blue jeans, folks. And people got so scared of them because they were men wearing, you know, Middle Eastern outfits that they freaked out and the pilot wouldn't fly. Everyone was rolling around in convulsions of fear. This is so ridiculous. You should be afraid of the big corrupt government, afraid of doing nothing. Now, shifting gears for the balance of the next 20 minutes is Gary Franchi, who heads up Revolution PAC, and he's always doing new great work in the fight for Ron Paul. And I just want to know, in the case of James Williams, who's in the piece from South Texas on the coast where Ron Paul was a physician for many years, how on earth did you guys find James Williams? Because this has certainly got the media covering it and pretty upset because it humanizes Ron Paul.
Alex, thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, James Williams, he's like a needle in a haystack. Alex, Ron Paul has delivered over 4,000 babies in his medical career. So there's plenty of stories more just like this. And because the Revolution PAC has people who used to work in the 2008 campaign, people who have always been very close to Ron Paul, they have an institutional knowledge of past campaign tactics, as well as the people that have been close to Ron. And through our sources within the PAC, we found James, and he said he would come through and perform the interview for us and help us get his story out.
Wow, well, and you sure got some good producers. All these ads look like, $1 million ads you're producing. Just an amazing job, Gary.
Thanks, Alex. That ad was shot last Monday in Jamestown, in the congressional district of Ron Paul. Our crew flew out. They flew out to Houston. They shot the ad they flew out Sunday, shot the ad on Monday. We got 2 more videos that are going to be coming out in this Who is Ron Paul series that talk about Ron Paul the man. And of course, this one with James Williams talks about the compassion of Ron Paul. So that video was shot Monday. And our producing team put the video together through the holiday weekend because we knew that this message needed to be heard. And we fine-tuned it in the past couple days. We released it, and now it has over 250,000 views. And it's really stifling a lot of the arguments that the media is trying to pin on Ron Paul. Of course, we see the claims that he's some sort of a racist and a bigot. And let's just be clear, this video is not specifically designed to address that. It's one video in a series that addresses the Ron Paul the man. But we're already getting reports from people on the ground who they're talking to individuals. They're trying to convert people to Ron Paul, and they say, oh, well, Ron Paul's a racist. Ron Paul's a racist. Well, then they go ahead, they pull this video up on their laptop or their iPhone, and they say, take a second and watch this video. And this video completely disarms the argument. So we have an initiative right now. We're trying to raise funds to get this broadcast on national television and just, get the message out, get James' story to the American people.
Well, we're going to broadcast it right now to 3 million people. Go ahead and play the ad. Here it is.
It was between 1972 and 73, but it was still a lot of prejudice around this area. My wife was sick, and